Today is March 4th, 2025. What we are going to talk about today is the war against Russia and Ukraine. There are some deep thoughts. He seemed very naive in some arguments, so I kept saying he didn't understand foreign policy at all. What's the most important thing about diplomacy and politics? The main foundation is knowing when to buy and how to compromise. 2 days ago, I heard that there was a doctoral professor on Tiantian TV. Dead man, it's Europe, what Belgium? Or a doctor of philosophy from some university. He is saying that Trump is a bully and a hooligan. In fact, he is not qualified to criticize this matter at all because Trump was chosen by Americans as president, and he is. The number of votes is enormous. The total number of electoral votes in the US presidential election is 538. Historically, there was often a gap of more than a dozen votes between major candidates. This time, Trump managed 310 votes. All-round crushing, overwhelming victory, including 7 swing states. Michigan, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Arizona. All these 7,200 tables in Wisconsin were Trump's big victories. Do you know why? Because not only did Trump saw the list, This America gives priority, and in his pre-election campaign, he particularly emphasized that there are only 2 genders in the United States. That is, the issue of men and women. This kind of issue is relatively sensitive, but Trump said that ordinary people dare not talk about these issues. But there is a fixed opinion in my heart, so it is as simple as it is reflected in the ballot. Trump is most of the elected presidents of the United States. What happened in the new office of elliptical man last Friday? Most people in the United States supported him. You, a philosophy professor, have suffered. Why do you say that people are hooligans, but who are you? You should follow his position. Maybe he is of French nationality. Maybe he is from any European country. And then what? Maybe he's a dual citizen. So what is his position in Europe? And what is North Vietnam's position? In previous video summits, I made it clear that the leaders of these 7 countries are significant. Additionally, 7 members from an old US private company, including Biden, held a summit. You know that Europe doesn't want the war to stop. Why have you all heard of disregard for human life? These people are born in nobles. These nobles simply look down on human life. That's why there is the idiom of disregard for human life. Because these people dress tall and don't regard human life as him. He is a human only when he feels that he is from a powerful background, and everyone else is a slave. In order to get weapons purchased by the United States and then donate them to Ukraine, you can get kickbacks from Brother Chicken during the transaction process, at the expense of the lives of soldiers and ordinary people. This is the whole drama. If a president who loves the people so much, he won't let the country go on this road, it's impossible. Zelensky, this bastard, he went too far in his acting. He thought he was a hero. That's why he was so self-righteous. When he was going to talk about some peace agreements that day, he went to the office properly. He thought he was still in the same play he played on Ukrainian TV a few years ago. In the play, he was firing with a machine gun. He was no longer. He returned to reality, but he didn't come back, you know? This man not only escaped 4 times of cheating, but all his presidential aides are his crew members. How outrageous do you think it is? Make this scrap. In order to please the Americans and get assistance from all over the world, he did not hesitate to use the lives of his own people as the price and burn soldiers as firewood. You say it is outrageous. It is outrageous. In his mind, the lives of ordinary people are worthless at all. Especially when a very ordinary comedian suddenly changes himself and climbs up, he won't cherish anything, just like this white fox on the Pacific island. That kind of arrogance, that kind of self-righteousness, all from the fact that you were nothing. You were a nothing. And then you took part in a drama, and as a result, you suddenly became the president. He didn't constantly experience in a political family, in this officialdom and politics. He didn't have these things. His brain didn't have these memories. And he acted very naively, so I kept talking about his foreign policy. I don't understand it at all, you know. What is the most important thing about diplomacy and politics? The most important salary is comscope. You must know how to compromise. When you are in your time, you must know how to compromise. You are a small country, and Russia. To reach an agreement, one must know how to give in. Why Russia hit you in the first place is because Russia has already told you, can everyone sit down and talk about it? As long as you agree to Russia's 3 conditions, there will be no war. Remain neutral and don't join NATO to remove Nazification. He doesn't want to. Why isn't he willing? Because democracy is also called the president of the chrysanthemum party. Biden, a selfless old man, went to war with his hands. Only Biden donates weapons to him, which means buying them from the American military company. And there are commissions and kickbacks involved for the entire party and former arms customers. Now, Mr. Choi, everyone has taken these. The Democratic Party has taken them all. Then what? By donor this. This bastard Zelensky and his staff team are all members of his former crew, and everyone has received money. They have already bought properties in various countries around the world, and everyone has made a lot of money. Because of this, for his personal benefit, he did not hesitate to send the ordinary people of the whole country to the battlefield to sacrifice. Last Friday, his performance in the Compromise Group's office dissatisfied most Americans because the Republican majority supported Trump with 310 votes. What qualifications do you have to criticize you, a professor in Taiwan province? There is a president elected by most voters in the United States. What is your position? What is your position? You are nothing. You are talking about others over there, and Trump is. The bully is this hooligan because you don't understand that Trump is very tactful. His diplomatic office is that no one offends him and doesn't want to offend Russia, so he uses the name of mining and then lets tens of thousands of workers enter. When workers enter, there will be security personnel, security teams, and security companies, which is equivalent to the United States. There are troops stationed in Ukraine. You don't understand because you didn't think of this level at that time. You are very naive, so don't talk nonsense about things you don't understand. You're a philosopher. Do you know what philosophy is? Science can explain all philosophy. Why are you still playing with philosophy? Everyone must know. I'll tell you again. The essence of diplomacy is whether to buy or not. You know how to compromise, know how to make concessions, and know how to strike a balance point between both sides to satisfy everyone. This is called negotiation. If you, a president, don't have this cognition, it's natural for your whole country to perish.